Yo, check it. All right, guys, what is up? You are back for another video with DataZero. We got an absolute banger for you guys. Make sure you watch to the end to get all of the information and context. We're going to be talking about SPY, but mostly focusing on AMC and GME. We'll also talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum in this video as well. What happened today and give you guys information and explanations for that. But we're going to be focusing on the meme stocks, looking at the MOASS roadmap, and giving you guys updates and predictions, technicals, and levels that you need to know as a trader and investor. This video is not financial advice and should not be taken as such. Please do your own research and due diligence before buying any stock or crypto asset. With that being said, let's not waste any more of your precious time and hop in the charts, the facts, the data. Let's go. All right, guys, what is up? You are back for another video with DataZero. Interesting day today. I'm going to be focusing on the meme stocks on this video. This video is not financial advice and should not be taken as such. Please do your own research and due diligence before buying any stock or crypto asset. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop in the charts, the facts, the data, show you guys exactly what we have going on for today. I'm mostly going to be focusing on the meme stocks in this video, but I am going to be talking about SPY and Bitcoin here at the end in the general market. And of course, we have an absolutely insane day tomorrow. If you're gonna trade it, guys, good luck, because there are so many variables tomorrow that it's just insane. Normally, if it's just inflation or FOMC, I would give like a little bit of a bearish or bullish bias towards what I think is going to be happening. But with everything happening tomorrow, I can't say bullish or bearish, because we could literally have a situation where we get, like, just for an example, I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but let's just say we got some low core inflation rating, so the market pumped, but then we heard some like hawkish talk from the Fed FOMC and the Fed press conference that could bring the market down. So we could literally see a pump into a dump or a dump into a pump tomorrow, and it is going to be insane. I cannot wait to see how the market digests and reacts to all the news that's going down. But SPY did get a bullish pop to the upside, and we're going to be talking about all that and more, and levels you need to look at as well. But let's hop in here to the meme stocks and let's just get some basic data down real quick, and then show you guys some technicals and stuff like that and everything we have going on there. So it looks like the shorts are setting up for something big, and we're going to get back to that here in a moment. But you guys can see 1.9 million short shares on AMC, and then if we go ahead and look at GME, you guys can see 3.5 million short shares for GME. So they have an incredible amount of shares right now for GME and for AMC. So 1.9 million for AMC and then 3.5 million for GME. So they have a ton of short shares. Cost to borrow slightly moving to the upside. You guys can see cost to borrow sitting at that 3.60 level for AMC. And then if we go to GME, cost to borrow currently sitting at that 3.68 level as well for GME. So cost to borrow is looking relatively high for both of the stocks, but we do want to see cost to borrow go a little bit higher, as we did get bigger spikes back in that overall run up, and that is what we're looking for more upside. Now, as far as everything is concerned, I'm not too concerned about how many shares they have, because I feel like they think something big is gonna happen, and I think something big is gonna happen, and they are going to need those shares. So I'm not as concerned with the shares or anything like that, because I know that they're going to use them for the run-up that is coming. I think a massive run-up is coming for AMC and GME, and this is not financial advice, but I think these stocks are setting up to absolutely explode. Now, you guys can see that GME is up here in after hours, and that is because we did get some news retaining to GME stock. So if you didn't hear, GME stock dilution is over. They raised about $2.13 million, you guys can see right down there, and they sold about 75 million shares. You guys can see that they dropped those shares, and you guys can see that they raised about $2.13 billion. So they raised an incredible amount of money using those shares, and we can see that GME is up because of the news after that. Also, another thing that is crazy is GME, also the GME CEO, Ryan Cohen, won his lawsuit. So this all happened in the same day with Bed Bath & Beyond. So Ryan Cohen has just won a huge amount of money, and GME has just raised a huge amount of capital. This could potentially have Ryan Cohen either turn into some type of activist investor, where he invests actively and starts to make moves and help companies out and retransform them, Or we could see GME turn into some type of investment style company, something like a Berkshire Hathaway. Now, again, this is all just speculation. I'm not saying this is what's happening, but with GME building all of this capital, and again, with all of the capital they have, they really don't have a reason to do any more dilution, even the dilution they just did, unless they were trying to become an investment company and they need a ton of cash. So either this cash is going to be used for the transformation, or they could become some type of investment company. And I am very, very hopeful for GME's future. They are literally sitting on a ton of cash, like about 4.5. It's like either 4 or 5 billion in cash, maybe even more. But from my knowledge, it's like at least 4 or 5 billion in cash that they're sitting on right now. And it is absolutely insane. And then Ryan Cohen is also sitting on a ton of new capital and was already a billionaire, I do believe. So again, very, very good position for the fundamentals of GME. They still are losing money as the current company they are, but we are hoping to see some type of transformation for that. But this is all very, very bullish. Also, there is a GME shareholders meeting on Thursday. They'll be doing some proxy votes and discussing some things there. So we do have that possible catalyst for them maybe giving some information up or announcing something, but we do have a GME shareholders meeting on Thursday as well. So ton of catalysts. And then of course we have Roaring Kitty's call options going into the money on the 21st as well. So a ton of positive catalysts for GME, and I think we could see an absolute blast off for GME. As far as the technicals are concerned, when in doubt, zoom out. If we look at the macro, guys, you can see we're in this falling wedge. Breaking to the upside, I'm very, very bullish. Giving all of the same signals that we gave before we squeezed last time, and we're giving macro bullish signals as well. You guys can see weekly MACD green, monthly MACD is also green. Monthly Bollinger Bands are constricted. We're using them as support right now. This is very, very bullish. Weekly Bollinger Bands are constricted, then we're breaking out. We're using those as supports right now. So GME literally in squeeze mode right now, using the bands as support, coming up, using the bands as support, coming up, using the bands as support, coming back down. This is very, very bullish. Also, we have buy signals that we've had similar as well. If you go ahead and look at the super trend on the buy signal on the weekly, these are some of the same signals that we gave off before we squeezed, along with green MACD on the monthly time frame. So again, multiple bullish signals for GME. And then of course we have the fractals as well. MOASS roadmap. I'm not going to look at GME's just as much. I'm just going to give you guys a brief idea of what I'm looking at. GME is calling for a consolidation and then a pump. So we might have had that consolidation period here where this was actually all of this like crunched up, and we could be moving into that second rally for GME. But GME, I'm thinking, is going to be making a bigger move to the upside than what the fractal is saying. Basically, what I'm trying to get to, in a long story short, I think that the fractal is calling for a slightly similar high, which would take GME up to about that $47 level. I think GME, once it gets this second push, that it's actually going to it's going to blast off. And possible price targets for GME are that $70 gap fill, and of course we have all-time highs sitting at $120. And with this falling wedge structure, it is very, very possible that we do break all-time highs. So I'm very, very bullish on GME. We also have a nice gamma ramp for GME. If we go ahead and look at the options chain, it is absolutely loaded at that $30 level, so we could explode if we hold $30, which we are. We have the $40 gamma ramp if we can get it moving. So guys, we are set up for an absolute explosion on GME, and I think we could see a move from now into the 21st. Again, as far as the MOASS roadmap is concerned for AMC, I want to point out something as well. If we go ahead and look at AMC and just pull up the MOASS roadmap for AMC, I want to show you guys that it is showing us a blast off date. Now, this is not giving a date for the MOASS. I do not want to give dates. You guys need to understand this is not financial information, but it's showing a blast off date or range, I can say, between the 20th into the 24th. So if you guys can see at the bottom of your screen, you might not be able to see because it's very, very small, but you guys can see it says the 20th into the 24th is when we're going to see phase 8, and phase 8 is when you absolutely start to pump. So that just happens to line up with Roaring Kitty's call options going into the money, which is absolutely insane, because that would give us the gamma ramp even if he exercised some of the calls or anything like that. Even if he took profit on some and exercised some, that would still be very, very bullish for GME. And it lines up with the 21st. And that's when AMC says we see a mega pump. So I think AMC, once we see this second pump, this mega pump here, so I'll talk about where we're at and everything here, but basically I think we're going to see a possible pullback or a pump, and I'll talk about that here in a second. But basically after we reach that low and then get set up for this bigger move around the 20th to the 24th, around that range, I think GME is going to absolutely blast off with it. The fractal shows GME actually just getting one more push and pulling back. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think GME is going to blast off with AMC, and I don't see a world where GME's call options are going in the money and they have all these bullish catalysts, and then AMC starts to pump and then GME not pump with it. It's not going to happen. And then also GME has been showing so much strength. It's been leading as far as the gains are concerned. Even today it turned around and boosted up at the end of the day, catching up and surpassing AMC. And then also AMC has some bad things going against it. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but AMC is way more diluted, and now even GME is looking as a better company fundamentally than AMC. So there are so many reasons why GME would actually squeeze more than AMC, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I've always told people that you should really diversify and get into both. I've covered AMC and GME extensively, and I think that GME might actually squeeze higher than AMC and produce more gains than AMC. Now, as far as price targets for AMC, ironically, if we take the MOASS roadmap and then put it back down to current prices, it shows AMC coming up and filling the gap. So I've always talked about these gap fills. I've said AMC is going to come back up and fill these gaps. I've been very, very adamant about that. Even when AMC was back down at this $2.38 level, I said there's going to be a time where AMC comes back up and filling all of these gaps up to the $37 and $43 gap fill, and then all of these gaps you see in between marked in the turquoise or light blue lines, whatever you want to use. So I've long talked about a time where we're going to see a rally up to these levels. And it looks like that's what the MOASS roadmap is saying. It's literally saying we're going to rally up to these levels. So possible price targets are that $20 level, $25 level, $30 and $40 for AMC. And I'm going to be watching them and tracking them as this thing goes on. But make sure you guys like and subscribe. That way you guys can tune in for the MOASS roadmap. Now, let me show you guys what I think we could be seeing for tomorrow and what I'm expecting. And then also some signs to look for if we're going to blast off. So basically, there's two scenarios that I think could be happening tomorrow, and obviously it could go up or go down. I know that sounds dumb to some people, but I'm giving you levels and specifics, and we are all tracking this as it does play out. So basically, I think we're in this section right here, and you guys can see that we're pulling back, and we called for all that in the live stream. I told you guys most likely that we'd pull back into close, and that's what we've seen, and then maybe even pull back in tomorrow. Now, with the bullish news from GME, we could see a pop to the upside, and if we look at this pattern here, you move up, then you consolidate, you move up, then you consolidate, and then you move up. Well, if you look at what's happening, you move up, consolidate, move up. We might be consolidating for one more push up, taking us to about that $5.75, $6 range. But that's where I would expect to get rejected from and then start to move back to the downside into that $4.50 sub $5 range, and that's going to lead to a bottom, which then could lead to one more push up, taking us to the upside and absolutely blasting off. And I am looking to possibly get some more shares if we do see a pullback on AMC. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm telling you what I'm planning to do. But once we see the pullback, because I'm expecting the rally that we're having for AMC to fail. So I'm expecting a rally and then a pullback. I'm expecting a rally and then a pullback. Right now, we've seen a rally. We're seeing a pullback. Will we see one more leg up? It's possible, but I'm expecting that to fail. And then once it fails, I'll buy more on the pullback. Now, to make sure I don't miss the big move, okay? To make sure I don't miss the big move and I'm either being too greedy or too bearish or I just messed something up and missed it, I'm looking at the level of $6. If AMC breaks above and holds $6, there's a huge chance that we could absolutely blast off. You guys can see that we haven't really been able to break above this level of about $5.80 to $6 and hold that level. And when we did, we absolutely took off. So you guys can see here at that level, we got rejected, we got rejected, we got rejected. And once we got above that, we absolutely blasted off. So I'm thinking once we get above and hold this level of $6 as support, you will see that move to the upside. And I think that's what this is going to correlate with phase 7 and 8, where we break above the level, then come back down using it as support on phase 8, and that's what's going to make us blast off. So I'm looking to see a clean break above $6, holding that level and coming back down, retesting $6 as support, and that's going to confirm to me that, hey, we are blasting off and maybe I did miss it. But what I'm thinking is going to be happening is either we'll get that one more final pump to that higher high, or we're going to pull back into that sub $5 range. AMC is going to drop down. People are going to freak out because it's going to be a decent drop down. Then it's going to bottom, and that's going to lead to the bigger move coming around the 21st into the 24th. So this is what I'm looking at for AMC. This is what I'm tracking. If you guys want to stay in tune with everything that I'm doing here and all of my due diligence, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. But this is what I'm looking at for AMC and GME. As far as level of resistance for AMC, if you do see a break above $5.50, you're going to see a nice pop to the upside. AMC currently pulling back here in after hours. So again, we might be at that top and come back down to that sub $5 range. This would be expected. So don't freak out if you see a pullback for AMC. You guys can see GME pulling back as well. They're not going to let this thing get out of control just yet because they have all of those short shares. So they are going to be shorting it down. GME coming back underneath that $30 level. So again, major resistance for GME is that $30 level. We also have $31.85 and we have $35.13. Support for GME is $28.12 and $26.59. Support and resistance for AMC, we have support at $5, support at $5.15, and we have resistance at $5.32 and $5.50. I'm expecting a technical pullback for AMC. We're also getting sell signals as well, pulling back to that sub $5 range and then getting a pop to the upside the same way I explained in the MOASS roadmap. Now let me quickly go over Bitcoin and then the overall market and then wrap up this video. And remember, tomorrow is going to be absolutely crazy, so be ready. So Bitcoin, the dollar pumped up. Some people were asking earlier on stream, you know, what do you think happened with Bitcoin? What's going on? Well, the dollar pumped up and then it pulled Bitcoin back. So when the dollar pumps up, that's going to put bearish pressure on risk assets such as Bitcoin and the overall market. You can also see the VIX is slightly elevated as well. So we want to be watching that. When the VIX goes up, the market goes down. And when the dollar goes up, the market goes down. Now, the market has major resistance here at 538. We really been watching closely and see what happens with this bear flag, because if you can break above that 538 level, you could see a bigger pump to the upside. But what most likely is going to be happening is we'll probably reject and then move to the downside off of this yellow sloping support and resistance. So I'm thinking SPY could get a little bit of push like it is now, but I'm thinking we're going to see an overall pullback. Now, from what I'm seeing here on the technicals, it looks like SPY is ready to make another pump up. I'm just keeping it 100 with you guys. It looks like SPY is looking to make another decent move to the upside. So we might see some bullishness tomorrow. But again, tomorrow is such a crapshoot. If you're trading it, good luck. But it's going to get absolutely crazy. You could be high risk, high reward, because if you do get it right, you're going to get paid. But again, you could also get reversed on quickly, so you have to be taking profit quickly. I would really set this thing out if you're not a more experienced trader, because it's gonna be wild in the mix. As far as the SQQQ, we did get that little pop to the upside after the breakout of the falling wedge, but it did start to pull back, and you guys can see RSI getting into that oversold territory. So again, SQQQ might be able to see a pop to the upside, but that could be countered if we do get some bullish news for SPY. So again, such a crapshoot tomorrow. I would be very, very careful. As far as the macro is concerned on SPY, we're starting to get into that overbought territory. And again, I think the market is setting up for topping out, okay? Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but you guys can see just overall volume just absolutely dropping off a cliff. RSI getting to that overbought territory. We also have bearish divergence here on the weekly time frame, and that normally correlates with a bigger move down. You guys can see RSI clearly trending down, price clearly trending up. We can also see volume clearly trending down. I think the market is setting up for a top out and a decent pullback in my personal opinion. I don't really want to see Bitcoin crash. Bitcoin we want to see stay above the levels of 65,700. Right now, Bitcoin staying above that level is bullish. We really want it back above 69.2K, which is the all-time high levels. That's going to let us know if we can really go past that $75,000 range if we can hold 69.2K as support, and we have failed to do that every single time. But right now it's still looking bullish for Bitcoin. I just see a bullish consolidation after a big move up. So you have a big move up on Bitcoin and then a bullish consolidation. We've been trading in this overall range. As long as we don't break underneath that 60K level and stay underneath there using that as resistance, I really don't see why Bitcoin would be coming to the downside. So we really want to keep watching these key levels until we break above 72,000 and really use that level as support. We're still remaining in this overall range, and until we break either 60K to the downside or 72K to the upside, we're still trading in this overall range, and Bitcoin will explode one way or another. I'm leaning more bullish in my personal opinion, and I think we're actually setting up for another move to the upside, but it could take a little bit more consolidation. As you guys can see, we tried to get a pump up, but that pump had failed, and the dollar also pumping up is not good for Bitcoin as well. So we could need a little bit more consolidation before that move. We want to watch the dollar closely, but as things continue to go on, as inflation continues to increase, I think cryptocurrency is going to do extremely well, and I think this is actually one of the best opportunities for people my age and younger, or any age, just really, because the dollar is constantly losing value. And if you look at Bitcoin's charts, it's done nothing but go up. It's constantly increasing in value the same way a house will, because it has a fixed amount of coins. This will continue to increase as long as the trend of inflation continues to decrease. And if you look back through the time of you've been born, has things not cost more and more money? Things cost more and more and more. The dollar is getting less and less value. That's why you need to move into assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum that have either a deflationary burn rate and or a fixed cap and also proof of work. So this is why I'm very, very bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum personally, in the overall cryptocurrency market, but I mostly focus on Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is what I'm looking at in this video, guys. Incredible setup, guys. We have this weekly buy signal. Meme stocks are absolutely ready to blast off. We have so many bullish catalysts. I think we're going to see a big move for both AMC and GME. I think GME could potentially see a bigger move. And as far as the market is concerned, I think we could see a little bit of push up, but I think we're starting to get to a top, and things are going to start to pull back here very, very soon, especially with some of the key stocks. If you look at like NVIDIA going flat, Apple, getting a nice push above that $200 level, but it's going to need to hold that level, and if not, you're going to see a big move to the downside. So we want to watch these key stocks very, very closely. Apple's starting to get into that overbought territory as well. So again, this is why I'm looking at all of these things. So this is what I have for you guys. If you found the video informative, go ahead and drop a like. Press subscribe for more content like this. Remember, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more DataZero updates. And I appreciate you if you managed to watch to the end of the video to get all of the context and get all of the information. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out. Alright guys, that was the video. If you found it informative, go ahead and drop a like and press subscribe for more content like this. If you want to support the channel for absolutely free, again, just hit that like button and leave a comment down below and press that subscribe button. I also have a t-shirt as well, or a t-shirt store as well. If you guys want to check out the merch below, we have shirts, different kind of hats, and things of that nature. If you guys want to check it out, there's a link down below in the description and the comment section. You can just check it out there. And then we also have a Discord as well. But if you want to support the channel for absolutely free, just hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, man, I appreciate it if you watch to the end. Stay safe, make money, have fun. Peace out.